Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in today's video, I want to compare the brand new X-Men Mansion Sentinel with the original one we got back in 2014. Now, a lot has changed over the last decade with these two, most notably the size, but also the accuracy. One thing I want to shout out from the 2014 one is they really used a lot of unique color pieces where I feel like LEGO has a lot more of a color palette today than they did 10 years ago. So on this Sentinel, of course, it is the better of the two right out of the gate. I mean, there's just no competition, especially in size, scale, piece usage, but the original one did have a certain charm to it. I really like the printed torso piece that they used there. It was a creative way to, take a lot of space and put a really great print on there, as well as a nice head print as well. We technically got a Sentinel head with the CMF Wolverine, which I have here for scale. But since that wasn't a full body, there's really no way to actually compare it here. That being said, on the original one, we had ball joints at the shoulders as well at the elbows or wrists. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but we did have a stud there that you could put the back of a figure's leg into so that it could be held by the Sentinel to be captured. Or on the opposite side, you could put a missile in there in that Technic piece as well. Moving down to the legs, we have hip joints as well as knee joints and some really cool builds on the bottom for like the blasters so it can fly. It's a pretty simple build, all things considered, but you have to remember that this came with an X-Jet too, and that was the main part of the build. Now, the stud shooters, I guess they'd be stud shooters in the back. They're flick fire missiles, that's it. It's too early in the morning. Anyways, those can be moved on the back, and then, of course, you flick those out just like you do on any other LEGO build. We'll go ahead and set this old 2014 Sentinel aside as we take a look at the new one. This one is very awesome in its own right. As you can see, we get the same shoulder mobility as well as the elbow mobility, but this time there's also mobility at the wrists with a ball joint there. We have the capture cable here, which looks great, which you could, pull back to add more space or tighten up. And of course, you could put an X-Men minifig in there to be captured by the Sentinel, a little something like that. The cable does slide out easily, and then of course you still have the studs there that you could put a minifigure's feet into to have them captured by the Sentinel that way as well. The hands closed just like the other one. And here we have a sticker for the centerpiece here, but the head piece is actually printed on, which is really, really cool. I dig that a lot. Moving around to the back, you can see it is a pretty robust build. We also have this Technic piece here where you could add one of the flying J-hooks so that you could have a minifigure jumping around the Sentinel like it's being attacked on or whatever the case may be. That being said, for leg mobility, we also have hips and knee joint mobility, and then on the bottom, there aren't really any pieces to show it flying, but there are these open sockets that you could place into a Technic pin on the floor of the X-Men mansion on the outside so that it could stand there very stably. So, as we look at these two side by side, I mean, it is pretty obvious which one is the superior of the two models, that being the X-Men Mansion one, but it is really cool to see them side by side and compare how far we've come in the LEGO Marvel theme. So let me know what you think of these two builds in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.